Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
After a 2-week break, we're back,
Wow.
It's
Yes.
feels
Happy
so
New Year.
weird. Yes.
No, we've been doing this since 2018-19, and I think last week was the first week we may have missed. I may have missed. I'm not totally sure about that.
Are you slacking?
I know. I feel.
Well, you
one
used to
thing
be
you
every
need-
other week, though, so
That's true. Thank you.
so it
used
only
to be-
became weekly once we
Yes.
started streaming.
Very good point. But
Still
if you missed
slacking.
this, so last week it was Christmas and we were off and no one was here, and this is a different week too because everyone. This is not normally well, it's recorded, but we're recording this for YouTube. We're recording this for our digital channel. You can seek it out if you're listening to this next week, Monday. You can seek this out and watch it. Who doesn't want to see Mindy and Nikki, right?
Exactly.
It's on 16.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
It's on our streaming app, and you can do that. But if you want to listen, we're here for you. We got you every week, and we welcome you back, and we're ready
So wait,
to rock
this
and roll.
one's not live?
This one is the first one that's not recorded live.
Haven't you noticed he's not as nervous as
Yeah, he's different.
As they would say on the Gong Show, I remember they used to introduce the show each week. Almost live, Chuck Barris on the Gong Show. So we're almost live. All right, so anything else we have to make up from?
I don't think so. I think just Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, it's nice to all be back together again.
2026.
No.
And I know Joe likes that now the holidays are done and we get back to some normalcy
We are
with
almost
everything.
there.
We're almost there.
We're almost
Yeah.
there. I can't wait. The highlight of my year, I say it every year, is vacuuming where the tree used to be. And that's coming up, I think, this weekend.
No.
Yes,
Seems
it is.
a little early to me.
No,
It's
my wife
early.
is partial snowbird. She goes to Florida with her mother for a week or two because she works remotely.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she's going next weekend, which means she knows she has to have all of her stuff done before she
Okay.
leaves. Because I will rip it and tear it down when she's gone. And that's chaos.
She can't let that happen.
No. Who knows what'll happen to those ornaments?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I don't get the lingering thing. Help me out.
I like to linger.
I
But
like
no
to
other
linger.
holiday lingers. That's what I don't understand.
It's
You don't
nice.
leave your Halloween stuff up. You don't shoot fireworks off.
Well, I think part of it is
After 4th of
we
July.
need that Christmassy feeling for a while because it's just gloomy and snowy and that kind of thing.
January's so blah. You need that holiday cheer.
I read something, and I don't know
don't
if
get it at all.
it must have been a while ago, but that it used to be people didn't really get into the Christmas decorations or stuff until right at Christmas. And then the 12 days of Christmas were after Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
And so some people only put up their tree on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
And then would be really Christmassy afterwards. And now it's trended more towards way before, and then a lot of people are done right after Christmas.
Now it's November 1st.
Yes.
Yeah, it's now
Earlier.
free. I want everyone to know I had a wonderful childhood, and I am a pretty normal guy. I swear to you guys. I had a wonderful childhood, and I used to love Christmas. But now when I see knickknacks and snowmen and evergreens, I hate all that. I don't want to
It's
see a
so
snowman
funny.
in my house. To me, it's like granny stuff. Get it out of here.
I love
You know what I mean?
snowmen.
But
I
your
know.
pagan ancestors loved the greenery, and that they put it in their home specifically to make things more green and light up a little bit during the Christmas season.
My wife does not like winter. Here's the contradiction I can't get by in my head. She does not like winter. She does not like snow. We're together in that. And she has posters in our house, not posters, signage, that says, let it snow. I said, this doesn't make any sense at all.
I
And
thought
she
you
says,
ripped
oh,
that
it's all
down.
about the spirit. And I'm like, no! I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Let's do
There's
brown
this
bag.
weird feeling, though, now that we're getting into this January mode, because then it's just the holiday's done.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
January funk.
There's a January, like, okay.
I think the February funk is worse.
February funk
I
worse?
totally disagree, and I'm going to prove it meteorologically. December's the worst month. It's the darkest month. There's all these holiday obligations. There's a lot of chaos. January, we're already getting almost an hour more daylight. In February, by the end of February, the sun is going down at 6 p.m. The temperatures are rising. February is nothing but hope.
Okay.
What's depressing about February? It's hope, hope, hope.
I feel like John
Love,
should
love,
pick the
love.
first question.
Folks, we do this for you.
Hope.
This is where you get to speak. It's brownbag@wnep.com, brownbag@wnep.com. We get your questions emailed to us. We crumble them up. We stick them in here. We never know what we're going to get. brownbag@wnep.com. And sometimes Johnny gets nervous and he has to go like this. And he says
Do you
the
want the
public
bell?
can't hear
I don't
this.
need the
I
bell,
think
but this
John
isn't a
wants-
question.
Here, it's not a
Okay.
question.
But it's an observation.
Here we go. Observations.
If streaming is kind of a gray area with the FCC guidelines, then maybe the WNEP girls can do the podcast in bikinis.
Only if the guys do it too.
I don't know
What
if
would we
anyone
have to do?
wants to
Speed
do
up?
that.
was that
In
sent
bikinis.
from- was
That
sent
was
from
sorry.
our-
That
who's
was
the guy?
sent by James.
James. So is James a pervert? I mean, do we want to?
Well, I don't know if you
Sort
call him a pervert, but
Sort of.
James, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if anyone wants to see that.
Yeah.
So.
I would say
what
the
is the
answer
F-
is no.
All right, no, let's back up. Let's back up. So we're not sure about the FCC stuff, though.
It is gray.
well, I mean, the FCC is not going to be upset about anything in bikinis. That's not against the rules. It's just
Right.
whether there's good
But it takes
taste in
away
doing
the
it.
integrity of these
course it would.
journalists here.
Exactly.
They are not to be objectified as
No.
things.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. I got to say
He
the
set
right-
the record straight.
We did. We did.
They are not things.
All right, a question for all. You guys seem to include everyone in your fun and games. Well, almost everyone. Why don't you let Andy Palumbo in on your reindeer games?
We may not even be able to comment anymore on this. Wait.
Why not?
Well, I'll say this. So Andy told me once years ago, don't mention him during my forecast. Don't put his heads on the weather map.
Aw.
And don't do anything like that. Not in a mean way. He just said it's not his thing,
not
and
his
he doesn't
thing.
want to be a
Yeah,
part.
it's not his thing.
So even bringing this up now maybe is
Ooh.
disrespecting his request.
Oh, okay.
So I will just say that he doesn't want to be a part of this. Whatever. That's his thing. He's a serious Walter Cronkite like guy. It was
And
just-
that's
so Kevin
fine. That's
Donovan.
Andy.
Yeah. So that's why Andy he did a podcast with me.
Did
Oh,
he?
that's right. He
So
did.
if you want to, sir, look back
That's
in the
right, he
archives
did,
of this
yeah.
podcast. He sat down in here for an hour with me, and we had a great podcast together. So he will do that.
You talked about the history of Andy?
The history of Andy Palumbo, his arc in his broadcasting career, and everything about Andy Palumbo that you need to know. How he was raised, what his parents did,
Yeah.
where he's from. And look back on all the Mr. Curiosity podcasts. You could see Mindi, Nikki, we all did these things.
Yeah.
And let's be real, it's not just Andy. There's lots of people like Andy in the news business that wouldn't feel comfortable in the kind of morning newscast that we do.
Okay.
And in kind of a lot of the ways WNEP does things.
Although I've been impressed with Justin Gick lately.
Yes.
He's done a fabulous job filling in
We
over
love
the
Justin
holidays.
Gick, yeah. And I hope to have him here someday. So
I
maybe we'll do
know.
him. He's awesome.
Well, it's your turn. So
There's something just really likable about that guy, and
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it. I almost want, how old is he? Do you know?
I don't know.
Mid-late 20s?
That's what I think.
I want him to be
Because
my
he's had
son.
quite a few jobs and like his career's taken some turns.
Yeah,
So,
I want
Yeah.
Justin,
Like
I want Justin
mid-20s.
Gick to be my stepson.
I think he
Okay.
could, we could arrange that.
You get it right.
You could do the Godfather or something.
All right, this is for Kathy. I moved out of the area. Therefore, I watch on the app on my television. Thank you, Kathy, for watching on the app. You can watch anywhere on planet Earth. Recently, the app changed, and you can only rewind or fast forward 15 seconds at a time. I know nothing about this.
Oh, I don't know either.
However, can you change the speed? However, you can change the speed. My question is, why do I want to slow down or speed up the program, Kathy?
Oh, you can change the speed?
Yeah, she said she
Huh.
can change the speed. You can change the speed on podcasts too. You guys ever see that little?
I always change the
Yeah,
speed.
it's X 1.5,
Yeah.
X 0.5. You can change how fast you listen
You
to.
forgot to read the PS. That's
Oh.
the best part.
P.S. It was amusing to watch Joe at double speed.
That has to be amusing.
All right, so yeah, you could. I don't know. Why would you?
we don't know the technical
No.
details of WNP Plus or how that works.
Right.
Who I don't know who it was in the newsroom though that introduced me to with the corporate training videos that you could play
Yeah.
them
Double
on
speed?
double speed.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a big bonus.
That was
Joe
a
would
big
You're
know
getting
if
the
he ever
same-
did those training.
think
You're
it
getting
is.
the same vital, important information from
Faster.
corporate training, but in a more efficient way.
a lot faster.
I wish that I had that option for my mother-in-law and my wife when they tell me stories. If I can hit one,
Careful. Careful.
He's going to get in trouble.
I want to hit 1.5 or even 2, just to.
Your lovely mother-in-law listens to this podcast.
Mindy, it's
so
not them, it's me.
I know.
I have a short attention span, and I'm easily distracted, and they just give me too many details.
Too much
That's all I'm
information.
saying. It's not them, it's me. I want the crib notes.
Okay.
I want the bullet
You want the
points.
cliff notes.
I want them to speak to me in bullet points. That's what I want them to do.
I don't think that's possible.
Come on, Nikki.
Hi, morning crew. If you are a book lover, how do you prefer to enjoy your books? A print book, ebook, or device or audiobooks? Any favorite genres? Love the podcast. By the way, my favorite Monday morning listen. Lisa in Williamsport.
Oh, thanks,
Isn't
Lisa.
that great? Yeah.
I am a book lover. And
In which way?
Yeah, which way?
so I love my Kindle, but there's something cool about holding a book. But I've recently gotten into audiobooks. And I thought that the audiobooks were cheating at first. I really didn't think it was like reading a book, but now I love it. 'Cause
Really?
I listen to it on 1.5 speed.
Oh, so
really?
there it is.
I do, because I don't like when people talk slow.
And then the door
Very
And
creaked
then,
open,
and then I get
and a man
bored.
entered the room.
And I don't know. I have a short attention span too, and I like to hear it faster.
So do you do this when you're mainly driving, or
Yes.
just would you ever put it on and just sit on your couch, or no? You wouldn't do that.
No.
You're always doing something.
When I'm doing something,
Yeah.
cleaning,
Okay.
driving, because I drive back and forth to my boyfriend's house, and
Oh, that's
you know,
true.
it's,
Yeah.
So that's what
it's
you
nice
listen to.
listening to a book or a podcast
Yeah, but don't you lose the internet at that point, though?
if I have it downloaded.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you download
Yeah.
them.
She's
Well, I
going to
just know-
Sullivan County.
When I drove to
dicey.
Sullivan County, close to where your boyfriend lives, we didn't have any internet at all, so
Right.
I couldn't make phone
Oh,
calls.
I know.
It was,
I
yeah.
know. That's why I
It's at the
can
world's
download
end.
a podcast or download a book, and it's perfect.
Oh, cool.
And Mindy's a big bookie. What
She's
do
a
you
book,
do?
book
And,
person.
and so are you.
Well, I like to read, but I don't read much anymore.
You
I just
don't
don't
have a
have
lot
the
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find I like to hold a book. My biggest problem with reading right now is when I start to read a book, because I'm on this shift and get up at 2 a.m, I just fall asleep. I start reading and I just get tired and I fall asleep.
So you never did the audiobooks? Or
I've never done Kindle
You're
or any
old
of those.
school.
I'm old school.
Really?
Hold the
You've
book.
never done Kindle?
Never done
Interesting.
Kindle.
No, well, Mindy,
Yes,
I've
done it all.
I see you as the bookworm.
I've done it all, man.
You've done it all. So
Yeah.
what do you prefer?
I don't know. I think it just depends on my mood. I mean, I love going to the library and perusing the shelves
Nerdy.
and seeing extremely nerdy. Yes. And John and I both like World War II books.
Definitely.
We are always exchanging those books that are good. I just read a really good one about this dog during World War II. I'll have to tell you about it later, but it was called No Better Friend. And it was really, really, really
That doesn't
good.
sound interesting.
Oh, it was
Now,
good.
if it were Nazi death machines of World War II,
Well,
I'd be into
there
that.
was Nazi death in there. Yeah, there was the dog was in a concentration camp.
Okay.
So
Oh,
what
that
about
sounds good.
do you listen to audiobooks then?
I only listen to audiobooks like when I'm driving, usually on a trip. I don't often do it. I usually
And
prefer
why?
to
Is it a
read. I
different
don't know.
experience? do
It's
you
a
think?
different experience.
It is a
for
different.
me.
Do you feel it's a different
it
experience?
is a different experience.
Huh.
Especially
I think
if
it's
you
more like a
don't-
podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
part of it is you have to like the person's
You have
voice.
to like the person's voice.
Yes. So if you don't like the reader's voice, then it's not
That's
enjoyable.
interesting.
Yeah. So
you should read audiobooks.
that's a great idea. Do you think I could make a living doing that?
I think so.
But aside
I
from
would
the-
listen to you read it.
Aside from the voice, because I haven't read a lot of books in years, but when I used to, it's very immersive and it's a whole different experience when you're reading. And if you listen, it's not the same. I don't even care
That's
about the voice.
why I thought it might be
It's
cheating.
a whole different experience.
But it's not
It's
cheating.
like
No.
cheating, but it's not.
You're
it's
still
not.
imagining it as if you're
You
reading
are.
Yeah.
You are.
You agree.
And
Yeah.
but like you said about it kind of puts you to sleep, that's how I get to sleep at night.
it with audiobooks.
No.
Reading.
With my Kindle.
Oh,
With-
okay.
Same. I have to read every night.
I read every night before I go to bed.
and sometimes
and
it
helps
annoys
me
my
get to sleep.
husband.
Because you're reading.
Yeah, like usually we don't go to bed at the same time, but like
Yeah.
if we're on vacation or whatever, I'll be like, oh, I have to read.
And
he's
what
like,
annoys him? He wants
"Can't
you
we
to what?
turn off the
He wants you to
light?"
watch TV or something?
No, he just
your
wants
lights
to-
out,
because
go
you
to
still have
bed.
the light.
Yeah, and he doesn't say anything for the most part, but every once in a while he's like, are you done? And I'm like, nope. You knew this was the deal before you married me. So,
That subject could be a whole hour podcast.
Probably.
How couples go to bed. My
that
wife is
definitely could.
exactly opposite of me. She wants the TV on. She wants lights on. I need everything off. I need TV
Quiet.
off, complete. I'm talking complete darkness, and then I turn on my sound machine, and it's that drives her crazy.
The sound machine.
She doesn't like any of those three things.
Oh, any of them.
oh,
She doesn't want
funny.
it totally dark. She doesn't want the sound machine, and she doesn't want it quiet. She needs to go to bed with the TV on.
And there's no possible way I can fall asleep if the TV's on.
I love
So what do you
falling
do?
asleep to the TV.
But do couples ever just say, okay, that's it, dark, TV off, and then they lay there and fall asleep together? Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
We have never done that in my 33 years of marriage.
It just depends on the people.
I know, isn't that
Yeah.
nuts?
It is. But you are right. Everyone's sleep habits are very different.
Yeah.
Some are better than others.
Yes. Definitely.
So John, because you go to bed early, what is she's not there with you when you're going to bed at
No.
6, 7 o'clock?
No, so I am completely dark, which in the summer is a challenge on our shift.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the sound machine, which I didn't use before being on the shift, but I needed to drown out the noise in the
Yeah.
house.
But when then she slithers in bed later, doesn't that totally ruin your whole night, or no?
She's able to do it quietly enough that I don't usually wake up.
You must be a deep sleeper.
I'm a pretty deep sleeper, yeah. So it works.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But she's not like a TV person. She doesn't need the
No,
TV. Yeah.
no.
I love it. Who's up, baby? Who's up?
I think it's John Meyer.
Are we back to me?
We're
Back to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
Nikki had the book question.
And
Nikki,
I started with
what
bikinis.
is your genre that you usually...
Here we go. Let them go, John. Pick their question.
I'm just curious, maybe we can share.
We'll talk
We're going to have book
afterwards.
club here at the
Yeah.
podcast.
I really would love
I know what
I
it's
would
going to
love
be.
book club.
I would love book club.
I know what it is. With the ladies, it's either romance or crime. So that's it. That settles
Those are
everything.
my two favorites.
Well, I also like, as we were talking World War II books, I
John,
would
put that
also read
away.
those.
I want to know why these ladies like crime. Of all topics, why do you like crime?
It's sort of a
love
how-to.
crime. I love crime.
No, it
Why
is.
would you like crime? It's the most disgusting thing around. It's murder.
I love it.
Rennie is either Hallmark movies or true crime.
Why?
Like,
Could
They're
you
kind of the
explain to us?
opposite.
and I don't find
I'm
the
not
true
judging.
crime
I
stuff
like World War-
interesting at all.
No, I'm not judging because I like stories about Nazis. I don't know why. It's ridiculous.
There's just something about it. I don't know.
Isn't that nuts?
We can't explain it.
I
It's just
can't
there.
Explain it.
But it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It is a
crime.
thing that women love true crime.
True.
Is that the
Maybe
gossip?
we should all be afraid.
You should be more
I know.
careful.
I think Darren's afraid I'm gonna murder him in his sleep sometimes. Just because I get so into it.
So into the true
And I'm like,
crime.
how do you watch this?
I know.
And I
when
think
we
it's like
used to-
depressing to like watch the crime
Me
stuff.
too.
But it's kind of
relaxes me.
the psychology is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Maybe that's what it is. You want to get into someone's head.
Yeah. Could
No,
be.
no. When we used to have a cat, I used to tell you, he used to watch over me when I would take a nap or sleep, and I always think it's dreaming of killing me. Mm-hmm. Is this what my wife is thinking?
Maybe.
too?
Maybe.
It's possible.
Is this a crime? Is this what turned you guys on?
She found
Oh,
out about the
boy.
loofah.
She's like, insurance policy, one stab.
All right, it's not a question again.
That's all right. This is open to
It's an
many
observation,
different
and it works for this one. This is from Todd. My tree was down on the 26th at 9 a.m. Take yours down. When Christmas is over, it's time to get into a spring mindset. Winter is for losers.
Is this from Todd or Joe?
Todd.
Winter is for losers.
losers. And when Christmas is over, it's time to get in the spring mindset.
Well, we started with this topic. There's a
We
lot
did.
of people that feel that way.
There are, yeah, definitely.
Are you jealous that he took his tree down on the 26th?
Yes,
I wonder if he heard us talking about this yesterday.
but that last line, are we going to agree with
Did
that?
you talk
Winter
about
is
it
for-
yesterday?
We
winter-
did.
Winter is for
He
losers?
emailed it on January 1st, 2026. So
He might have heard
probably
us,
heard
yeah.
you talking about
Well,
it.
what did he say? I forget. We
On
just-
the show. 'cause
Yeah, but we
you
didn't say winter is for losers.
No, but you said I'm taking down the decorations.
Yeah.
and-
I took all the outside stuff is done.
It's done.
Really?
Oh yeah, I have.
Ours
no-
is still glowing
Oh,
bright.
yeah.
Well, John, because you don't realize winter's for losers. So that's the
Winter's
problem.
for
We still have the Julian calendar Christmas, and I think you should leave it up till Valentine's Day. Then exchange it with hearts.
No.
See, I can't. You can get in the spring mindset, but my big thing is I don't like to wish away time at all.
That's what I struggle
and so
with.
Yeah.
I
John,
am not
that's
gonna
what I
say
struggle
I
with.
can't wait until
Dude, I'm so with
the
you.
spring weather's going to be here
I ha-
because that's 3 months away.
You're wishing away your life.
You're wishing
Yeah.
away your life.
And I guarantee anyone on their deathbed with a horrible disease or malfunction, they're appreciating every moment. And they don't want to say, oh, I wish it were this or that.
No.
Every moment is, so I want to be that, but I hate winter.
And so even though winter may not be the best time
But
of the
you
year,
still
I'm going to
have
take
to-
advantage of
yes,
it.
you have
and
to
I'm
stop.
going to enjoy January and February,
Yes.
even though I think January feels like it's 80 days long.
Yeah,
You still have to enjoy it.
you do. And I
Because
try
I try to phase out saying I can't wait until.
Well, could you hate it and enjoy it? That's
I think you kind of do.
Yeah.
I see
You
it-
hate winter, but
my-
you are out enjoying it all the time.
My analogy is to me it's a jail sentence. And if I were in jail, I wouldn't sit in my cell and be like, "Woe is me, I hate life." I'd be trying to make the most of being in jail.
Would you write a book or?
I'd be writing. I'd be hanging out with the guys. We'd be lifting the weights. we'd be sneaking.
Sharpening your shanks.
Yes. I'd be like, 3 more months, I'm out of here, but I'm going to make the most of it while I'm there.
Okay.
But that's why you go on winter bike rides.
Yeah.
That's why Mindy and I like to ski. It's taking advantage of what's here.
So to complete my analogy, I would never say, I can't wait to go back to jail again. But when I'm there, I'm going to make the most of it.
Yes.
So the people who look forward to winter, I don't get it. That's like saying like forward to But while I'm in it, I'm going to make the most of it.
This is kind of an interesting question.
Oh, here we
And
go.
it's a science-y question for Joe.
My specialty.
Yes, this is from Andy. Joe, I was watching the moon last night and it was fairly windy. I saw the clouds blowing by.
There they are.
Some were in front of the moon, some were behind the moon. Can you explain this?
Well, no.
The
Well,
moon
no.
is 24 or 248,000
40,000
miles
miles away. The
All
highest-
the clouds should be in front of the moon, no?
Yeah, so the highest cloud is like 8, 9
Why does it
miles
look
up.
like there are...
I don't know why that illusion happened, but yes, there was definitely no clouds behind the
Behind the
moon.
moon.
But
Okay.
you will see that in cartoons and movies and stuff.
Where it looks like they're
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is some optical illusions that happen when you
I
look
would say
up at
because
it.
the dark part of the moon, which are called the Maria, these basaltic gray areas, so if that gray matches a cloud that's in front of it, it's going to look like maybe it's behind it, and it's chipping away at the back and front side.
The
That could
dark
be it.
side of the moon?
The dark side of the moon. We never see that. So definitely not. Highest cloud, 8 miles, moon 240,000 miles away.
None
no
behind it.
clouds. The moon has no moisture, no clouds, and there's definitely nothing behind it. No.
Okay. Well, thank you, Andy from Honesdale, for
Andy
that
from
good
Honesdale, we love
science-y
it.
question.
All right.
It's Joe's
You.
turn. Yes.
That's it,
Are you going to
that's
dig
it.
deep?
I'm going mid. I'm a mid guy
Mid?
because I stirred them up before you guys came in here, just so you know. All right, this one is from Jennifer Berger, I believe a semi-regular contributor.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, Joe, taking. Oh, these are all so appropriate. You swear that they're speaking my language. Did you see that was random? I promise.
It was random.
This,
Yeah.
this one is for John and Mindy.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Taking weeks of vacation time around the holidays is crazy, especially with the frigid temperatures like we've been experiencing. Summer vacations are the best. You are doing a great job interacting with Justin. If anyone can do it, you can. Happy New Year. So she's from Pottsville. She just sent this in Tuesday, December 30th. So she probably heard me on TV. She said, "You are right." Explain yourselves.
That's so funny.
Why do people take the week off of Christmas? I never understood that.
Well, because our kids have the week off from school. So that makes sense. To
Yeah,
do
I think
that.
that's the primary answer. I mean, you go to Iowa every year, so
That's
I guess
another-
travel's,
You're gonna go
a
over
big,
Christmas.
travel's a
Travel,
big
yeah.
reason. Travel's a big reason.
and yeah, I mean the kids have off school.
Yeah, but you see them every day after school. What's the difference?
I know.
How much kid stuff do you want? Come on.
Oh, lots of kid stuff.
I love my
because
kids
you
more
know
than
what?
anybody.
They move away. I'm just telling you right now.
And at this point, I've been at WNEP a long time. I get a lot of vacation, so it works. I have the time.
So you have no
I took
regrets?
off. I don't have any regrets. I mean, there were a couple times during the week that I was like, "Yep, I'd rather be off in the summer."
Yeah.
Because there's way more that you can do
Just
in
be
the
honest,
summer.
were you a little bored last week?
There were times.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I ended up doing projects around the house that I don't normally do. So I got some stuff done that I was glad I got done. But and I think the kids really liked. It's funny how with us working the shift, they thought it was cool that I was watching a movie with them at night and stuff like that. So those little things
Yeah.
made
In
it all
a
work.
few years,
Dad, what
they
movie are we
won't.
going to watch tonight? And so we took advantage of that.
But that same
nice.
night we're watching the movie in 12 degrees, dark
I
at
know.
4:30. You could have been outside tossing the ball around on a summer
But
night.
he takes advantage of
8
the
o'clock.
summer too.
I do.
Yeah.
It's just
You
a matter of
take
when
time
you're going
off
to
in
use
the
those
summer.
days,
Yeah.
winter or summer.
And it's funny because we get a lot of time off. If I was to take that week as another week in the summer, the talkback calls would be coming in. Oh, they're never on. That never works.
Well, you know
They're
that's
always
my
on."
life.
I know.
Snedeker, he takes off every Monday. What is it? Well, that's why, because
Well,
I
they're
save
they're
these
kind
up.
of right. I mean,
Because I'm here all winter long.
And you know what I found is a lot of people don't understand the whole thing of use it or lose it with vacation.
Oh,
So many
true.
employers you can carry over your days off.
Right.
Ours isn't that.
No.
If we don't use those days off, they're gone.
And another,
And we're not going to lose days off. Like, if we get those days off, I'm going to take them.
Yeah, that's your time.
But another thing here, only in this business, we get comp days. So I didn't take off any time for New Year's Day.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. So
that's
now
right.
you get a day off.
And all those people weren't watching probably on New Year's Day. But I'm going to take that day somewhere else, and they'll say he's off again.
Yes.
Because that's my
Right.
New Year's Day. Most people can't move their holidays around. We can.
We can, yes.
Which is great. Because I work all the holidays. I volunteer. It gets me out of a lot
For
of
many reasons.
It gets me out of a lot of stuff.
Please tell, this is from Patricia, Trish. Please tell Carrie that I requested that cake for my birthday on November 26th. She will not be disappointed.
What cake?
Good choice, Joe. Good choice, Nikki.
Right. It was Nikki who picked it out.
Oh, the cake for Carrie.
Yeah, the Carrie
Birthday, yeah.
I'm vacationing now in Naples, Florida, and watching WNEP live stream.
There
Ooh,
you go.
thank
See,
you.
folks, you can watch
Nice.
anywhere in the
Anywhere.
world.
Yes.
Describe the cake. What made you get that one?
It
you-
was pretty much what they had.
Okay, so you
It was the one
very-
they
Remember
had
the
for
cake
sale?
for Carrie and Mindy
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Sam's Club? It was just a really nice looking cake.
Chocolate?
It was
It was
chocolate.
chocolate.
chocolate
But you
with
even
white
liked
frosting.
it.
Yeah, I even liked it. I'm not
Yeah.
a chocolate guy.
That's so funny that she went and got the cake.
I know. That is funny.
Nikki,
Cool.
you're the cake
I'm a
trendsetter.
cake influencer.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Who
yes,
knew?
yes, yes,
The
yes,
cake
yes.
lady.
Who knew?
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Hopefully it's a question.
Yeah, I haven't had a question yet. Oh, they're numbers.
Oh.
And this is from Todd again.
Well,
All right.
is he the winter is for losers guy?
Yeah.
Let's see what else is on his mind.
Let's end the year with a few observations.
Okay, here we go.
Number one.
Yep.
Adults should not wear earmuffs, right? Tony B, you look like a cartoon character.
Let's stop there.
What?
Tony B, is that
Let's stop.
Anthony?
Oh.
I think he wears earmuffs.
I think
okay.
he wears earmuffs.
Oh, well, let's stop right there before you go through. How many is on the list?
4.
Okay, so do you guys agree with that one?
No, I think earmuffs are cute.
I have earmuffs.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
worn
you have
them
no
lately.
problem with that?
No. I can't see my husband wearing them.
I would
No.
never wear earmuffs.
And the fact that you said it's cute. No man wants to say something he's wearing is cute. So that's...
No.
To me, it does seem childish.
Okay.
When they first came out, I wore those wraparound
Oh, yeah.
things on TV, like when I'd be reporting, instead of a full-on hat. Even them, I didn't like very much.
I think when you wear earmuffs, you're doing it for fashion reasons, aren't you? Because
No, you're keeping your ears warm.
no, but there's more practical ways to do that. Like just an
but I
ugly
think
hat like
ladies
I have
think it's
on.
an accessory sometimes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's more of an accessory.
Especially if they're like little animals, like little teddy bear earmuffs or.
I don't know those, but
If you're trying to keep your ears warm and you're in World War II, you're not going to have earmuffs on. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
that's
you
true.
want form follows function. The function is the most important thing. You don't care what this thing.
You don't care about the fashion.
No.
I went out to dinner on Saturday in Toronto at this steakhouse. It was a nice steakhouse, and there was this woman in there. She was wearing all white, and she had these white, fluffy earmuffs on
Fashion.
in the restaurant. And I'm thinking, why? You're
Yeah, so-
inside.
Inside
But it
the
was fashion.
restaurant?
It was
That's
fashion.
Todd's point.
Yeah.
So no
Oh.
adult should wear earmuffs. Next.
Number 2, Mindy is basically part-time.
Based on what we just said, taking a lot of time off.
Well, and especially after December. I think she worked 6 days the whole month.
Okay, maybe 6 or 7, maybe 5. I don't know. But yeah, like I didn't realize I had so many days left. I need to keep better track, and that is one of my New Year's resolutions.
Keep better track of your
yes.
days off.
Mindy.
So you really, be honest, you really don't track them at all?
No, I do. I do track them. But okay, so this is the difference. My husband got a job where he now didn't have any time off. Normally, before that, we would always plan off time off together.
Okay.
So since he didn't have time off, I wasn't planning any for myself because then we couldn't do stuff together.
Oh, I see. So,
So-
and then just piled up at the end of the year.
Right, and then I was
then
all of
boom.
a sudden like, oops, I have too much time off. So
So you're going to do better this year.
that's one of my resolutions.
I have a
I'm
day
also going
planner.
to lose 5 pounds.
I have a day planner, and every day I know exactly where it's going to be. I have 37 days to take off. And I have
Have
everyone
you already planned it out?
pretty much.
For the year.
See,
Wow.
I can't do
Yeah.
that. I need to be spontaneous. I can't pre-plan, which I should do. I
Yep.
should
Yeah.
plan, but I don't.
I
You
don't
should
either.
plan more and don't worry about the 5 pounds. Number 3.
Number 3, legs get cold.
Whoa! Let me explain that one.
true.
So, if I'm doing construction, if I'm skiing, if I'm mountain biking, I'm not going to have shorts on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm just running to the mailbox, going to the mall, going to the supermarket, doing a forecast in the backyard for 5-10 minutes at a time, I'll wear shorts and legs don't get cold. But if you're out for a long period of time, yes, they're going to get cold. But for the most part, when I'm doing short interval things, I'll wear shorts all winter long. And the Catholic schoolgirls know because they have their skirts on, and Mindy and Nikki knows because you guys have your dresses on. Legs don't get cold in short duration, right?
I wear tights though.
I know a lot of women, they have just dresses on in the winter.
My
you know
arms get a lot colder than my legs do.
That's true.
Arms don't get cold either, and that's why vests are perfect, because your body's trying to protect the vital organs and keep them alive. Less blood flow to the extremities, so they're like, oh, if this guy loses legs or arms or fingers, he'll still be alive. His torso and organs will be safe. So your blood and body conserves heat for the core and doesn't care about the extremities. Thus, they don't feel as cold, I'm telling you.
Except toes and fingers.
Toes, yeah.
Well, your toes are a body's way of
are,
saying,
yeah.
we don't need this to keep
We
you
don't need
alive.
it, I know.
Right. Keep the core going.
What else is Todd
This is
saying?
number 4.
The morning crew is great.
Oh, he finishes
Do we
off
allow
with
a
that.
Good job, Todd. Good job.
Good compliment. All right. Well, when are we wrapping this up? You said you only wanted to go for a
so
half
who
an
went
hour.
first again?
I did.
John went first.
What time? How long have we been
It's-
doing this?
About a half an hour.
This will be the
Oh,
last
then we
round.
gotta go.
You, then me, and then Nikki, we're done.
Okay, quick.
Or want to just end now? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll end after this.
Mindy,
right.
John, and Joe.
Jeez, okay. No, how about if we end if it's a good one?
Okay.
We have to end on a good one. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Like winter is for losers.
This is funny. Mindy, John, and Joe, doesn't it annoy you that Blake Anderson gets more airtime than you guys? Every morning he's pushing the same gadgets time after time. Do we really need that stuff? Am I allowed to read this, by the way?
Yes.
Blake Anderson?
Who's
He's
Blake
the guy
Anderson?
selling
though?
the stuff during the show.
That's not Blake Anderson.
That's not his name.
What is that guy's name?
I don't know.
I don't know what his name is.
Well, it's,
So we aired during our streaming show 7 to 9, even during the 7.
And the main show too.
Yeah,
There's
we do.
The guy selling gadgets,
Yeah.
the power washer, the
things that he's
air
tested
compressor.
and say- yeah.
He's not. That's not his name though.
oh, okay. So whatever the
But
guy's
maybe you
name
can
is.
But
the
whoever
name.
the guy is, he gets more airtime. Hey, they're paying
Yeah.
the bills. What can we say?
But it does, however, solve a decades-old curiosity.
Oh.
Now I know where Steve Martin got his electric dog polisher and gasoline-powered turtleneck sweater.
Oh.
That's not quite what he's selling, but close.
So his point is that these are useless items.
Yes, pretty much. This is Drew from Tamaqua, and he ends it by saying, you guys and the entire crew at WNEP, have a Happy New Year.
Oh, that's awesome. This is a great
So,
way to end this.
yes.
But that is a good point, right? Because these items that gentleman, whoever he is, does sell on our station, they're paying the bills.
They do.
We don't have any.
Nope.
We don't have any control over that. And he does sell things that you don't need, and then when you see it, you're like, maybe I need that.
I
But you
gotta
really
say,
don't need them.
You know the one
Don't
that
tell me
he's-
you bought one.
I didn't buy it, but I got it for Christmas.
You
from
did?
my
You
mother-in-law.
Stop.
The little battery chargeable tire inflator.
Oh,
You got that
I
one.
got it.
You got that for
I don't know if
Why
she
did you
bought
tell
it.
us earlier?
I don't know if she bought it from him or not, but I got it.
That is huge. Why did you tell us earlier?
And I love it.
See? There you go. There you go. It's stuff you do need, apparently.
And the little button, you can choose car, bike, ball.
I have one for my
all
bike.
that.
It's about as big as a pack of matches. So these things are awesome. They
Yeah.
really do work.
And I think Nikki needs one too, because she had a flat tire. the
Yeah,
other day.
Nikki, come on.
We'll talk to Blake Masters or whatever the
Whatever
name
his
was.
name is, yeah.
Keep the questions coming, brownbag@WNEP.com. We're done for this week, and we want to remind everyone you can listen to this every Monday or whenever. That's when it goes live. But you can watch all the old ones on our streaming channel. You could search it on YouTube. We're all over the place,
And
right?
we're back to live this Friday.
And we're back to live this
Yay.
Friday. And I'm going to end
Exciting.
with this. Go ahead, beat me up if you want. Are you ready? I'm
All right.
leaving. Winter is for losers!
I'm gonna beat you up. Here I come.